Very happy to be here this morning. Hope you had a good time in New-Caledonia at the moment. So I'm professor of Earth and Environmental Sciences. I'm a geochemist. I'm studying mangroves everywhere in the world for now 25 years. I am the PI of the Diversities Project. It's a project that started last year, and we have a budget of 15 million euros to develop this project. It's the biggest project the University of New Caledonia ever had. And the objective of this project, maybe I'm too far. Okay. It's to understand, to preserve, and to promote the diversity of tropical socio-ecosystems. And too far, maybe. When I was there, I decided to address a budget of 800 million euros dedicated to universities. And to be successful for this project, university had to define a specific signature. What this university is good at, what in this region, is this country, what can we do which cannot be done in another place? And so we had to decide a signature for the University of New Caledonia, and we had to propose a project of transformation to a better insertion of University of New Caledonia in New Caledonia. So it's an 8 years long project, so it's quite long. The total budget is 35 million, and we get 15 million euros. And we developed this project with the CNRS and HIRD. It took us approximately 1 year to decide what can be our signature. So we first discussed with the scientists within the university, and we discussed also with the local authorities, the administrative authorities, and the customary authorities. And when I asked the question, what can be the signature of the University of New Caledonia, the first answer was always it's biodiversity, because we have the largest lagoon in the world. We have an endemic rate about 90% in lateritic soils, 70% on the whole island. It was the first answer. We are good because we have a very specific university. We have a unique biodiversity. And the second answer is we have a very specific cultural diversity, and also we have linguistic diversity, because there's 28 autochthonous languages and 30 different languages spoken by people who arrived after the autogenic people. Sorry. So we decided that the signature will be the diversities, biological, cultural, and linguistic diversities. There are 4 axes in this project. The first axis is to transform the University of New Caledonia for better integration into the environment. So to better answer the needs of New Caledonia.
Hello, we don't hear anything here. We online people.
Okay. And the idea was to answer both the expectations of the students, but also the answers and the needs of the collectivities of the different authorities. The second axis is to transform our formations, to have more, a better employability of our students, and to have more interdisciplinarity. The third axis concerns research. I will develop the 4 axes later. And the cross-cutting axis, so the first axis, is to position UNC as a key player in its regional environment. So to be able to develop partnerships with the university, both Australia and New Zealand, but also University of the Payan. Can you hear me now? Yeah? Thank you. Perfect. So the first axis, to transform university. So we have decided to build a new council of the university. And within this council, we will invite the president of the Southern Province, of the Northern Province, of the government of New Caledonia. We will also invite the big companies of New Caledonia. We will also invite the customary authorities once or twice a year. And we will ask them, what do you expect from the university? Are you okay with what we are doing in research or information? How can we do differently? Can you help us to improve what we do at university? We have created a new department of partnerships, and we would like to transform also our campus. I consider that we have a very nice campus, nice facilities with state-of-the-art for sciences, but this campus doesn't have an Oceanian images. So we would like the local students to say, wow, it's my university. I'm Melanesian, I'm Oceanian, and this university reflects who I am. And we would do that and by having some biodiversity touch within the campus, but also we will have some artistic expression on the campus. I'll do it very fast because I have only 10 minutes. So, the second axis is to transform our training, our formation. And I was born in Paris. I did my studies in France in environmental science. And when I did my studies, we were always in the field. So we were in the Alps, we were in the Pyrenees, and we were always in the environment, studying environment in the field. And when I arrived in New Caledonia, now more than 20 years ago, I was surprised that we were not able to send our students in the field. We have incredible biodiversity, incredible cultural diversity, but it was difficult for us to go with our students in the field. So we have a big budget to go in the field, and we will try to have our students, both our science students, but also students in social science, going together in the field. I think it'll be better for our students. They are more efficient when they are in the field rather than when they are in the classroom. We already have new courses on ecological and energy transition, and we will open new teachings concerning arts, culture, and traditional medicines. Yeah. The third axis concerns the research in New Caledonia at the University of New Caledonia. One point of this project is that it's a long project, 8 years. So we would like to develop 3 research stations that will be followed on the long time. So we have decided to have a focus on Nouméa, one focus in the north and the zone de Koné, and one focus on Huvea Island, which is one royalty island. And we will study 3 different pressure on the social ecosystems. And we will study both the evolution of the environment, but also the population. The link between the environment and the population is for us very critical. And so on Nouméa, we will study the impact of demographic increase on the environment and on the way people live. That's something you're doing in Falah. In the north, we will study the impact of mining activities with the closing of one big factory, which is KNS. And on Huvea, we will study the influence of climate change, including sea level rise, on the ecosystems and on the way the population lived this climate change. Because Huvea is a low-lying island, and it's possible that people from the tribes in Huvea, in 40 or 50 years, will have to move on the east coast of New Caledonia. So we will have interdisciplinary research projects on these 3 sites, on these 3 topics. The third axis, so it's called the international or cross-cutting axis. Our objective is really to be a key player in the South Pacific region. That may interest you. We will have a specific budget dedicated to the PION, so Pacific Island University Research Network. And in diversity, our main project is to be able to invite scientists and students in New Caledonia. So there's a budget for students coming, there's a budget for scientists from the Pacific Island to come to New Caledonia, either to do research or to teach. We really would like New Caledonia being the place to be, to study the diversities. So we will have a specific visiting professor. I think we call this visiting professors. So it's a dedicated budget to invite you if you want to come. And unfortunately, we are a French country in an English-speaking world. So our students doesn't like too much speak English. So we have created a new house of language and mobility to improve the English of our students and also of our colleagues. We really would like to develop these topics. It's very important for us to to be better integrated in the region. So we have a big budget on 8 years, and the idea is really for the University of New Caledonia to be a key player in New Caledonia, but also in the region. So there's no budget for scientists or students to go outside of New Caledonia, but we can invite, because we would like people to study the ecosystems, the specific cultural characteristic of New Caledonia. So this is our partners. Okay, that's all. It was very, very fast, but I did it in 10 minutes. That's right. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, so we are very interested in doing capacity building here in New Caledonia. So master students, PhD students, they can come here to work. They can work also in their country. They do part, and yes.
Hello, Cyril. I'm Frank from USB.
Hi, Frank.
You've been talking to Christophe, my colleague. The question is, Uvea is one of your sites.
Yep.
Is the project also interested or focusing on paleo environments, specifically, climate change, as it affected, Uvea for thousands of years? So, yeah, my question is kind of specific and general at the same time. Would you also consider projects for UNC-based students and perhaps outsiders as well, focusing on the paleo environment of Uvea? I asked a question because as an archaeologist, I was quite surprised to find out there has been very little work done on Uvea. So the question is... Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, we will. We will have a specific access on shoreline migration in Uvea, and we will work on the past, and the present, and on the future. So for the present, we'll have geographers and people using LiDAR to study the geomorphology of the beach and to quantify the actual erosion. And we will also use satellite images to reconstruct the shoreline for the last 40 years. And we will also do some corings, collecting sample and sediment along the shoreline to reconstruct the migration and the environment, and also where the people used to live with different sea level. Yeah. Yes, madam.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I am Corinne Caillot from the University of Sydney. I'd like to get a sense of how much interest within this project you may have into health or planetary health. Because I think there's interest from the University of Sydney to collaborate. A few years ago, it was all stopped by COVID, but with Olivier, we had a project that was funded by the French embassy under the scheme Campus France to bring students from the University of Sydney here and to collaborate with some of the students here on topics related to health. And that was amazingly successful. We worked on, it was a project-based trip where the challenges or the problems were posed by people living in New Caledonia, and students from both countries would work together. So yeah, just wondering if this is something of interest, or you see it's something like that.
Yeah, it's a critical topic. It's really relevant for New Caledonia, but within the diversity project, we have decided not to include health topic. We focused on biological and cultural diversity, and we had to choose because it's a big budget, but not enough to do anything. It's a topic that interests the university, but not the diversity project. We have decided to focus on three pressures, or demographic increase, mining activities, and climate change. Yeah. But it's relevant at the size of the university, but not within the diversity project. Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. Just one practical question. Does this project provide funding for thesis, on notably in social science? On what, if yes, what can be the way to postulate? Thank you.
Okay. So there are specific calls from the doctoral school. We have decided to promote, how to say that, New Caledonian students, because we would like to be attractive. We are only 100 scientists at University of New Caledonia. We are 200 scientists at the scale of New Caledonia, and it's difficult to recruit. So we consider that if there are some very good young Caledonian being in France, in Osceola, we would like them to come back. So if they apply, they have the priority. However, if one students from the Pacific, would like, merci beaucoup, would like to do a PhD in New Caledonia, his salary cannot be funded by diversity, but the functioning can be funded. And if you have one site in Vanuatu and one site in New Caledonia, diversity can fund everything for the site in New Caledonia if it's in Nouméa, Vaud-Kone, or Ouvea. So it can pay the functioning of the thesis, but not the salary for a PhD student. Yeah. Thank you very much. I wish you a very good day and a good conference. Thank you.